Hello, beautiful people. This is Asa Leveaux. I'll say that again. My name is Asa Leveaux. If you are hopping on, say hello. I definitely want to know what you're getting your mother for Mother's Day, because that's coming up. So I want to know what you're getting your mother for Mother's Day. If you don't have a good relationship with your mother and all that, I get it. This game is not for you then. This little part of the live is not for you. But yes, if you're getting your mother something for Mother's Day, please let me know what that is. And yes, I made sure that my mother already got her Mother's Day gift. I was raised right. As Jan Levan says, you may be grown, but you wasn't raised right. So, if you don't know me, Asa Leveaux, if you don't know, who I am, so I am an entrepreneurial coach. I'm actually sometimes the king of 10K. What that means is I help entrepreneurs create their first $10,000. And not only do I help them create their first $10,000, but I do that based on experience I've already done. So yes, I've published 4 books myself. I have 2 books that were Amazon bestsellers, 2 books in Walmart. I have created an event called the Oklahoma Black Business Expo. So I know how to put on events, book projects. I've had clients and partners such as Microsoft, T-Mobile, Oklahoma State, Iowa State, Volvo, Mercedes, to name a few. And hi, everybody that's coming on. So hello to Miko, Robin, Chizzy, Ashley, Colin. Thank you guys for coming on. If you want your timeline to have a little bit of positivity, go ahead and push this to your timeline, or you feel free to pull somebody over here. I hope you guys are doing well. So again, I help entrepreneurs create their first $10,000. Hey, Levi. And the reason why I do that, because I understand the frustration that new entrepreneurs go through. I know what it's like. I really do understand. I overstand what new entrepreneurship feels like. It's like you have all this information or no information, and now you don't know what to do with the information that you have. And you're like, what do I do now? I feel like I'm being busy, just being busy, and there's no results. I haven't achieved shit. I get it. I really, really, really get it. And so that's why I do what I do. And I do that by a program that I created called the 10K Society. Get it? 10K Society. I help entrepreneurs create the first 10,000. Yeah, okay. So this message for you guys about how to get yourself booked on podcasts and radio shows. This came about because recently somebody in a group that I belong to posted, they were like, hey, I create Speaker One Sheets. And she was doing a really great deal on Speaker One Sheets. She's like $25. I'm letting you know, a good Speaker One Sheet for $25, like usually you pay $100 or more. Let's just get real clear about that. You pay $100 or more for a Speaker One Sheet. So she asked me like all these things about like, what have I been in? What shows have I done? So I was, I Googled myself. That's another thing. Entrepreneurs, Google yourself. Please Google yourself. And if you're able to, not if you're able to, because you are able, you're able. Add a Google alert to your name so that anytime your name comes up on Google as a new entry, you are notified by email saying, okay, you have a new entry. It's very helpful to, there's such a thing as reputation management, and that helps you manage your reputation online. Okay, so as I'm giving her all this information, I'm writing down everything, and I'm like, wow, I did that? Wow, I did that? I don't even remember doing the interview, but there it is. There it is. And so what I realized, like after I wrote down everything, I have been on over 30 radio and podcast shows since I've been an entrepreneur. Hey, Tanya. So I do know what I'm talking about. I've been on 30 shows. So one of the main things to do to get yourself booked, number one, please have a very good understanding of what the result is when people work with you. What is the result that you provide people? I gave you my result already. I coach entrepreneurs on how to create their first $10,000. I'm very clear on that result. If you work with me, when you work with me, you will create your first $10,000. And if you stay with me, you will create your next $10,000. I will say, there is a disclaimer, asterisk, asterisk, bold, italicized, and underlined. If you don't do work, you don't get no money. So it's not on me. It's not on anybody else that you hire. If you don't do work, you don't get money. So I don't take any responsibility. No, I don't. Because my system is repeatable. It can be duplicated over and over and over and over again. So if people don't follow it, then they don't follow it. If you don't work, you don't get money. Point blank. Hey, Debo. Hey, Sherelle. Hey, it's Sherelle. With the Bella Bling. That's what's up. So the first thing, make sure you understand what you offer, what result you offer. Why? Because if you contact the host of the radio show or even the program manager or something like that, the producer, they're going to ask you that question, like, why are we going to have you on? What benefit are you going to be for our listeners? People need to know that up front. And if you're not clear on that, you are not going to be helpful to anyone, including the host or the person that's going to possibly book you for the show. So please understand what your result is. The next thing I need you to do is to have a headshot. This might have felt like it came out of left field, but you'd be surprised how many times people desire to book you and they want to put your image on their artwork, their branded artwork, and you don't have an image that qualifies to be distributed. Like if you don't have a quality headshot, it's gonna be a no a lot of times, especially when you start reaching platforms that have 10,000, 50,000, 100,000 or more listeners that can be verified. So if it can be verified, I'm telling you now, have your shit together. That includes, not, what did I tell you? Making sure you're clear about your result, making sure you have a quality, high resolution image that is a headshot, okay? So once you have those two things, I desire you to also have a call to action. At the end of your 2-minute segment, 5-minute segment, could possibly even be a 30-minute segment. If at the end of your 30-minute segment or whatever time you have, you don't do all this for nothing. You don't do all of this just to make a post on whatever social media platform you're on. That's not why you're on their platform. You are on their platform to have those listeners engage with you. So no, a call to action is not, just follow me wherever. No, it's not follow me wherever. Be very intentional. Hey, Deanna, I actually have family watching. That's cool. So please be very, very specific about your call to action. Your call to action when you're on a radio show or a podcast is not, I say again, is not follow me on wherever. Just haphazardly. No, you need to go to this website. If I'm on a radio show, if I'm on a podcast, I have permission if I'm able to give a call to action that's for money. So for instance, if it's for money, I'm saying what? Go to www.10ksociety.co. www.10ksociety.co, and I'm going to say it 3 to 5 times to ensure the listener gets it, okay? Now, if I'm not able to, I'm probably going to say, hey, just sign up. If you would like to connect with me, go to talk.asaleveaux.com, and Asa Leveaux is spelled ASALEVEAUX.com, and book a time to speak with me because I would love to connect with you and find out how I can assist you. That's why I do what I do, and that's how I do it. And it helps. Every single time I make sure I offer that. And guess what? Anything that you say towards the end as far as how people can connect with you, most times the show host, the show manager, the show producer is going to ensure that that information is in the show notes. So let's say you did an interview 3 years ago. That's still something that pops up when somebody Googles your name. So if they Google your name and they look in the show notes and they see a link, they can now learn more about you through the link. That's why, regardless, I don't care what you have, at least have yourname.com. I don't care what you're doing. Right now, go get yourname.com. In your real name, not some bullshit. I'm telling you now, don't get bullshit name. So if your name is Jackie Wilson, please go get JackieWilson.com. If you got one of these names like Jackie, God, Feared, in Love, Johnson, like don't do that. Don't register that domain. Register your full government name. Hey Tanya, register your full government name. Like go to GoDaddy, pay the $12.99, the $12.99 a year to hold that name. So that when you are on podcasts, when you are on radio shows, you do have the information. And again, if this is helping you, please feel free to push this to your timeline. And feel free to bring people in, to pull people in. So that's another step that people a lot of times forget. They don't have a clear or a quality call to action. So for instance, if you're on the Tom Joyner morning show, if you're on, I know, what's the guy that is on American Idol? The guy that hosted. I know he has, his name escapes me at the moment. I apologize. But Ryan Seacrest. He hosts a radio show. If you're on his radio show and you don't give a call to action after that many millions of people are following you, you just did yourself and your business a disservice. A really big, huge disservice. Hello for everybody coming on. Thank you for being here. I'm talking about making sure that you understand what it is, hey Alonzo, what it is to get yourself booked on radio, what it is to get yourself on podcasts. Now, if you have any questions pertaining to this, let me know. I started this by saying I've been on over 30 different podcasts and radio shows over the time I've been an entrepreneur. I know what that's like. Also, please understand that your followership or your numbers are a real life thing. So what do I mean by your numbers? When somebody in an email or a phone conversation says, okay, so what are your numbers? They are not looking for your age. They are not looking for the number in your bank account. They are legitimately looking for your verified numbers on usually your social media or your list, okay? So what does that look like for me? I know for a fact that right now on Instagram, I have over 14,000 followers. I know that for Facebook, from my page and my profile, I am connected to over 7,000 people. I know that on my LinkedIn, I have over 3,400 people. I know on my Twitter, I'm at 1,900. So I know those numbers. And why are those important? Because a lot of times you will hit high-ranking radio and podcast shows, and what they'll think about is they want to increase their listenership. And so if you don't have a way that they can increase their listenership through your following, you are not a quality candidate for them. Now, this isn't for every show, but this is for some shows. That's real. Some shows even tell you on the website, if you don't have 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 followers, do not apply. Hey, Sarah, I'm telling you what I know and what I've seen. I have been denied access to podcasts and radio shows because I did not have the magic number as far as my influence. So we need to know what your numbers are. So when you're talking to them, when you're applying, go ahead and just give it. You can just list that. So after you respond to their call for people, just go ahead and list your numbers. The next thing that I'm going to make sure that you really know, begin to learn how to talk in sound bites. Sound bites that's a quality thing that many entrepreneurs are not aware of how to do. So if I ask you, so Sarah's the last person that came on. So Sarah, tell me about a time that you really struggled, because we see all your success and we love it, but tell me about a time that, things just weren't working for you. What you're not about to do, I say again, what you're not about to do is go on a tangent for 3 to 5 damn minutes. No. You have exactly 30 seconds to 60 seconds to give a quality answer. And I'm really going to leave it down to 30. So for instance, if somebody said, Asa, We see that, yes, you created the Oklahoma Black Business Expo. We see that you are a proud father. We see that you also have a passion project called Queer School. How do you do, like, how did all that come about? Were there any things that, that you really had to go through? I'm going to say, thank you so much for the question. That's a great question. Please know that, yes, I've done all those things, and it did not always look like that. That sometimes looked like me being in such a place that I desired to commit suicide. I know that feeling that when you have a dream, you know what's possible, but there's this dissonance between the dream and the reality. So because of that, I need to make sure that I stay focused on what the plan is, so that level of depression doesn't take over me. And complete and done. We are totally done with that topic, okay? That's what it means to have a soundbite. So what can you, well, actually, no. That's what it's like to be brief. That wasn't a soundbite. So the first thing is to be brief. When they ask you a question, be brief. You do not have 3 to 5 minutes. This is not your show. You are a guest. Treat this opportunity as a guest and respect their time. Respect their platform, okay? So, be brief. Now, a soundbite is something that can be tweeted. So, a soundbite so I do these things oftentimes called Asa-isms, okay? So, I make really short things. So, if somebody asks me, like, Asa, you are an entrepreneur. What are some things that, you feel like every entrepreneur needs to know? And I'm going to say, you know what? I need every entrepreneur to know that drinking is for winners. And they're like, wait a minute, drinking is for winners? I'm going to say, yeah, I get it. When you're an entrepreneur, you might want to have a good time. You might want to go on the weekend. But guess what? You don't get to do any of that unless you've met a sales goal, unless you met a marketing benchmark. That's why I say drinking is for winners. So now there is something that catches somebody's attention really, really quickly in just in a few short words that somebody may remember and can remember throughout after the conversation is gone. What is something really, really catchy that can catch someone's ear so they can always, come back to you? So those are some things that can really help you get booked and keep getting booked, because let's just be honest as well. I can go back on every single radio and podcast show I've ever been on. I have been invited. There is not one podcast or radio show I have ever been on that I have not, somebody at the end of that did not say, you can always come back. Not one. Not one. I say again, there's not one podcast or radio show over the 30 that I've done that I haven't been back on. So, please let me know if this has helped you at all. I would so love to know that. Please, if you're looking for more information, more support as an entrepreneur, you creating your first $10,000, please go to www.10ksociety.co. Hey, Terry, thanks for coming on. You can totally go to that website. I'll say it again, www.10ksociety.co, and feel free to push this to your timeline so there's some type of positivity for the people that you're connected to see. As always, I am Asa Leveaux. Dreams and blessings.